Hello, Jack. Can you hear me?
Hey, Ziad. Yeah, I can. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, mate. What part of the world are you in?
What you said?
What part of the world are you in?
I'm in Sweden currently.
You're where, sorry?
In Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Oh, nice. Stockholm. Great. Awesome. Beautiful.
Have you
well,
been here before?
yeah, I have. I lived in London for 11 years, so I've spent quite a lot of time in Stockholm. Beautiful, beautiful people there. Very good looking.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with that. All right, Jack, you are from Sydney today, correctly?
Yeah, I'm calling you from Sydney, but I'm moving to the UAE in a few weeks. And I've got offices in London and New York. So yeah, I've noticed some of your LinkedIn. Love the content. Congrats on putting it out there. I know that takes courage. Why don't I just give you a bit of background as to what I do?
That would be helpful.
I've read the attachments you included. So yeah, we run a global equity fund. We've got 300 million US in assets. I've been investing for over 20 years, including for George Soros. We focus exclusively on the consumer sector. We've got a UCITS fund in Europe. We've got a high conviction equity portfolio. We're sort of outperforming the S&P by 500 basis points. We make a lot of video content, which gets traction. It's probably the most impactful thing we do in terms of awareness. We've gone from 1 out of 5-star rating on Morningstar to 4 out of 5. And we've rebuilt our firm using AI over the last year, which has been really impactful. And we're hopefully going to relaunch the strategy with that AI lens in the coming weeks. So want to grow assets, and that's kind of where we're at.
That's great. What the return yearly?
We aim to target 7 to 11% return. And the reason we do that, but our volatility is around 25% less than the market. The reason we aim to do that is because the average annual return for global equities is around 8%. 7%. So if we hit the midpoint of that, we're going to be outperforming by like 200 basis points net with 25% less volatility than the market. So that's what we aim to do. So like, when the S&P for the drawdown of the S&P, like in the Trump tariffs, I think it got down I think the S&P was down as much as kind of 15%. We were down 8%. NASDAQ was down 20. We were down 7, 8. So it's much less volatile, which I think, when Nvidia is going up about 5,000% in a year, you don't look so clever. But when markets are a bit trickier, it's a strategy that I think appeals to people who want to compound and preserve their capital.
Understood. And right now, how are you raising capital?
How are we raising capital?
Exactly.
We have institutional clients in Europe. We sort of it's a bit of a scattergun approach. We're on a couple of platforms. We're finding it hard to raise capital. I think probably what we've found difficult is I think you've put this in some of your LinkedIn posts. Are we speaking to the right people? Or are we just having meetings for the sake of having meetings with no possible outcome? So I think that's something we're trying to get a bit better at, in terms of, speaking to the right people as opposed to just having meetings.
Understood. And since when have you been at 300 million that's in the management?
A couple of years.
And since then, you couldn't do any progress in it, Ella?
Well, AUM was higher. It got to about 700, but then the performance of the fund was really bad. And then the founder of the firm brought us in. So over the last 2 years, we've been restructuring and rebuilding the business and improving the performance. So that took a bit of time to rebuild the client trust. So now we've reset that. Now we want to grow.
Got it. And do you have any metric on the lifetime value? I mean, how many clients they wanted to stay with your own firm since you have already started?
Our biggest one we've kept, we managed to keep that because that's plugs into several thousand advisors into Europe. But then others we have lost. The two biggest clients we've kept, but I would say the faster money has moved on.
Okay, is it like they don't invest in the same area as you are investing? Is it like it was the communication, it was the engagement? Can you describe what was the biggest issue that you have already lost them?
It was performance.
Performance.
Yeah.
Understood. And what the minimum check size right here?
About 100,000.
100K. And for this year, what the capital targets that you are looking to raise?
Look, I'd like to raise 50 million in the next 12 months. I think we can get a lot bigger than that, but I think 50 million is achievable. I think it's a realistic goal.
And how much have you already raised from the 50 million this year?
We're kind of flattish this year, so we've got work to do.
So you have not raised any amount of it so far?
No. We've been focused on performance.
Okay. But the performance, the internal operating, it has already been fixed. Or what can you say about it?
Yeah, no. What I mean about performance is our returns. So like we're up 5%, the S&P is flat, right? So we've outperforming sort of all the metrics. The performance of the portfolio when we inherited it was very poor. And now it's got better because we've been focused on it for the last 2 years. Now we want to grow our business.
Okay, and understood. And as we have already seen that you are active on LinkedIn. First of all, congrats on that. You work on your own personal brands. That is pretty important in nowadays. Are you getting any investors from your own LinkedIn channel or from your own personal brand right there?
Yeah, we're definitely getting traction from people. Yeah, so we're definitely getting traction, engagement, sort of leading to media appearances. Yeah, and with one of our clients, it's definitely leading to greater meetings and communication for sure.
Great. Have you already closed deals from LinkedIn before? Invest commitments?
Yeah, we have.
Great. So you think that you have the right plan on LinkedIn. So everything on LinkedIn, it goes very well. What you are seeking right here is you are seeking to have a constant system that will help you to scale up and to raise capital constantly. Is that what you are seeking here?
Yeah, we need to raise money. Absolutely.
Understood. What about the sales call with the investors before? Have you seen any difficulty with that?
I think it's just about consistency. Just not emailing a guy once every 3 months and not hearing from him, then doing nothing. So yeah, I think that's what we need to. I think that's where we can do a lot better.
Understood. So it's more about the follow-ups process, more on optimizing sales process from A to Z, and it would be like, all right, we provide X, Y, Z, and then we do the transaction. Is that what you are looking for?
Yes.
Understood. And for the orientation strategies, do you have that today? You have a management team who are maintaining the capital constantly, or do you think that you would also need help with that?
Sorry, say that again.
For the orientation strategies, do you have a team?
The LinkedIn, did you say, or which one? Which strategy?
For the orientation to orientate the capital for the long term from the investors that you currently have, do you think that you would need to have a team who understand how they can orientate the capital for the long term so you can have them in the re-apps and you can scale up the relationships further?
Maybe, but I think the relationship is ongoing for current investors and new investors. Like I think we should be always engaging with current investors.
Got it. And if you want to scale up to raise 50 million, what do you think that you would need to have in the place from your own perspective? You have already been in the business for a long time. You understand what the business needs.
I think we need to speak to the right people. You know, there's a lot of people who have money out there. There's a lot of people who claim they have money, you know, family office here, there, everywhere. But if people don't have the potential to invest or the willingness to hypothetically invest, it's a waste of our time.
The right people, the qualified ones.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, we need the right people who have a history of investing in products like ours, or there is a willingness to do so.
Understood. And for the last 3 years, you have been at the same mark in the asset management. Is that what you said?
Well, we've grown significantly because we've done a deal, but yeah, I think you have to understand that the performance was very poor, so retaining assets was actually a success. But now we've turned around that performance, as I said, and now we believe we can grow.
So now you think that you have the capacity, correct?
We've always had capacity, but I think we now have we can manage billions of dollars with no tracking error, but it's more about having a a product that we can sell, which I think we've now got.
Okay, so you think that you have been at the same level because of the product. That's why you have been at the same level for the last couple of years, correct?
Agreed.
Do you think that has already made you to lose investors or LBS?
Yeah, the return of the portfolio, yes.
And staying where you are for the last couple of years, is that was a red flag for the investors and LBS who has already invested into you?
It could be. It may have been. Yep.
Understood. Do you have an intro deck today? How have we already sent over an intro deck to our own domain?
An intro deck?
Exactly. Do you have any presentations that you are using when you are presenting your own project to the investors?
Yeah, we do that.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you haven't sent it over to our own domain, correct?
I haven't sent it to you, no.
Okay, understood. Okay, let's say that the 50 million has already been raised for your own firm, for your own fund. What could we see the next few steps from there? Could we see more operating internally, or could we see more expanding externally to new all-time high in the asset management?
Yeah, could expand to an all-time high for sure.
Why do you think that?
Are you talking about, sorry, I just want to be clear, are you talking about the portfolio performance or the fund assets?
I'm talking about the fund's assets right now.
Yeah, no, we could definitely grow it. We definitely, because it would give us momentum to reach new investors for sure.
So you think that you can grow because of the product, of the capacity? What do you think exactly? What the main
product
reason?
I think people want to make money. I think that's why they give us money.
Okay. So you think that you have a better understanding of the product right now and you are ready to scale it up?
Well, yeah, yes, I do.